Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have dark pop rock band Rivals.
Hi.
Hey.
Heyo.
Only feel good when others say they want me. Please hit that like button. Dear God, I'm begging. I can't pay my rent, but at least I got that Louis. Diamonds on my teeth, only reason I'm smiling. I'm trying to fake rich. I'm trying to spend your money. I'm trying to have the whole world tell me I'm something like society.
I'd like you guys to introduce yourselves and let me know what type of instrument you play. And Sebastian, do you want to go first?
I'm Sebastian. I play bass.
I'm Josh, and I play drums.
I'm Nickett, and I play guitar.
I'm Kaylee, and I make vocal sounds. I make voices.
Can each one of you tell me who influenced you on your instrument?
Ooh, that's a good question. God, there's a long list. Avril Lavigne, Mariah Carey, uh, Hilary Duff, Demi Lovato. I could keep going. The Dixie Chicks, or what are they called now? The Chicks.
Wait, when did that change?
Yeah, they're called the Chicks now. Yeah, I guess Dixie is a derogatory term. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I learned something new today. But
Wait, so then what are they doing? What are they doing about the cups?
what is the cuff?
I don't know. They're just called. All I know is that they're called the Chicks now. I think that's why. Now I need to Google. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right. I think it changed a couple years ago.
Yeah, they changed it. You know, for good reason.
But anyway, I kind of forcefully got into bass. I was actually a metalcore vocalist and did all the screaming and stuff. And my buddy wanted to join another band, but there was already a vocalist, and he's like, "Hey, dude, like, they need a bass player. You should do bass." So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it.
I think my biggest influence as a drummer growing up was probably a mixture of Joey Jordison from Slipknot, and I would also say early Michael Jackson and early Red Hot Chili Peppers. Those would be like my top three for sure.
There's very few that I'm like kind of influenced by. Mostly, it's like whole bands. Like I really like the whole sound of things. But like maybe early on, like a little bit of Jimi Hendrix and like some Sinister Gates. I think he's really great too. Um, but yeah, it's mostly been like whole bands like Journey and stuff. So
How did the band form, Rivals?
there's a debate on this.
Well, they were in a Denny's, and no, I'm joking. They're at a Waffle House.
Well, it's not the forming that's debatable, it's the name that was debatable. The forming was easy. Mick had asked me to make music with him, and I was like, "Okay, cool, let's do it." Like, that was easy. It was the name part that we have a mixture of we don't really know how that happened.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking, like, before we had a band name, were we just a garage band? And, like,
Technically, he's not wrong. We did perform in a garage for a while.
Okay, how did you guys come up with the name?
so here's the debate. From what I remember, we all wrote down and then kind of like sifted through them, but then ended up taking each person's like small group of names and putting them in a hat, and we picked out Rivals.
I would like to think that it would be like that if I was there.
Is that how it went?
I don't know. It was something along the lines of that.
What city is your band based out of?
Los Angeles.
When the pandemic hit and live music shut down, what did you guys do during that time?
I went back to school.
I also went back to school, so
Funny story. Me and Seb were actually outside of the Roxy at the last show, I think, of the before the pandemic or whatever. It was pretty interesting. We were having a conversation about it. We were just kind of like, "What are we gonna do? What are we? How are we gonna pass the time?"
I got really fat and lazy and decided to work out. I'm not even kidding or exaggerating. I was pushing like 255. It was just I was collecting EDD off of my job and just playing video games and eating, and I was just like, this is not a healthy lifestyle.
And then he got buff.
Yeah, and then I got buff, I guess.
When the lockdown lifted and live music returned, when you guys played out, did you notice like energy in the crowd more engaged?
yeah, they were pretty pumped to be out.
Yeah, it was nice to just hear music, I feel.
There was a lot of fans too that discovered us in the pandemic and like had never seen us live. So for them, it was like even crazier just because it was like they didn't even know what to expect. So that was kind of weird, just like the fact that there's people who have were listening to our band for like a year and a half and had never seen us live, and that was just so crazy because like we're like known for being like good live. So it's like I was like just weird. Like they like enjoyed us not because of our live show, but just because they liked the music, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It was kind of nice.
I'd like to talk about a couple of your songs. Fake Rich. How did you come up with the idea for that song?
Well, Seb had the initial idea musically for the song, and then writing wise, did we wrote this before the pandemic or was it during?
If I remember, it was like a few days. It was a few days after my birthday, and it was like 20. I think it was 2020. No, it was before. Yeah, it was before because we were on tour when you like came up with like the vocal melody for it.
Because we wrote "Fake Rich" and "Strawberries" in the same block. I remember they were the last two songs we wrote for the record. I just remember like having to think of like something different. Like Gogo's like, okay, we have a bunch of sad songs. We have a bunch of like.
You know what's funny? What's funny about that song is we wrote that song and then it stayed in like the drive with just like the most basic verse and then like a kind of chorus like for the longest time. And we have a tendency of like, yo, let's look at the songs we haven't like listened to in forever. And I guess Kaylee listened to it and then came up with a sick like hook for the chorus, and then that's kind of it went from there.
Yeah, it's like once we get the hook, then I'm like, okay, cool. Let's write the rest of it. Because it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, the hook's the part, you know? It's the hook. It's the fish hook.
Don't feel real, what am I supposed to feel? It's all fake, what
And you released Sad Looks Pretty on Me. And what I got from that song was you should just be comfortable being yourself. Is that what you were trying to get across?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was just the song idea was pretty simple. I was just like, I'm sad as fuck. I'm pretty hot. So I wrote a whole song surrounding that as like a unit. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna write a song. It's literally just about me looking good as fuck, but also being depressed as hell. And it turned out great.
Now, you have a song called Change Things. Since since you guys wrote that song, have you changed anything in your lives?
Yes. I actually, yeah, I got into videography recently and martial arts.
I was able to start my own business, so that was kind of nice. Definitely like took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, you can check out his websites. It's onlyfans.com/Josh Alves.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You'd kill it. You'd kill it on OnlyFans, man.
Hey, all I would do, I would wear like weird socks and weird boxers, and I would just be like dancing half the time. But in this like pink room. Fuck it.
Now, on Fake Rich and Change Things, you had a guest vocalist. How do you figure out who you're gonna bring on and
Well, we've known Wit for Fake Rich. Well, actually, I've known both of them for. I've known Dutch since I was like 13 years old. Like I've known him for a long time. We went to school together. Well, not really. We went to two schools that were near each other, and they were so close in LA. All schools are so close together, so it's like everyone. We kind of like those two schools like commingled a lot, and we used to go to parties and stuff together when we were younger. And then Wit, we met. How did we meet Wit?
With Nick and Chain Reaction.
Yes, that's what it was. Our good friend Nick Capone, he was friends with some of them, and we met and just all kind of became friends after that. Um, so it kind of was just what felt right. Like Change Things is kind of a poppier song, and Dutch makes like pop, like cool pop alternative music, and um, Cane Hill Wits band is heavy and fun and just fit Fake Rich so perfectly. So it was more that than anything. Just kind of felt right.
It's always good to do it with friends too. It makes it more interesting,
Ew.
If it could sound gross, we'll make it sound gross.
how is your writing style? Now, do you Mick do you bring like a guitar riff to the band or do you guys jam together? How do you come up with the song?
uh, more recently, especially on this last album, it's been more like, oh, anyone will be like, oh, I have this idea, and it will start to like stray into whatever it is, and next thing you know, it kind of evolves, and you get what you get, right? So
What do you guys got planned for 2022?
Party.
A lot.
We like don't. We are like the most. I love when you said party. Like none of us party. We do not party. We are not a party band.
We claim to be it, and we'll say we are, but no.
No, we're all back in the van by midnight. Um, what was the question?
What do you guys got planned 2022?
We have a bunch of singles, bunch of songs ready to go, ready to just get some videos filmed or just drop them. We're independent now, so we're kind of free sailing and touring. We're touring. We have a tour in April that we are announcing tomorrow, which this will probably be out by then. So whenever this was in the past. Um, yeah, we're hitting the East Coast and some of the Midwest and a little bit of the South, so it should be fun.
How can we get a hold of you guys? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah, Micket's phone number is I was kidding. I'm just kidding. Twitter, Instagram, everything, all the whole 9 yards is we are rvls.com or at we are rivals without the vowels. We are RVLS.
Even TikTok.
Yeah, we have a Tiki Talk.
And we do have a Patreon that's being currently revamped, and a bunch of behind the scenes content and stuff that you normally wouldn't see on social media will be on there as well. And that's patreon.com. We are rivals.
You'll get like access to our single like a week before anybody else. So
And you got a new single coming out April 5th.
yes, Dark Matter. Dark Matter. Yeah.
That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, Micket's phone number is
You just watch. You give out my phone number. The only thing I would get is a text like, "Hey, does Josh really have an OnlyFans?"
Oh, well, thank you so much for having us. We are rivals.